Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to American Outback, and we are going to be doing some serious heavy duty mowing today. So, as you can see, we brought our mower over here. We also have our quad track lined up with a loading wagon just here as well. And working away on field 20, you can just see on the map if we just run up to the bushes here. We also have our Puma busily working away, weeding our grass field here as well to put the final stage of fertilisation needed on that one there. This field here is fully fertilised, ready to go. Obviously, we're doing this for two reasons. One, to remove the need to plough, and two, so that we can get a lot of silage built up. So let's get the header on. We have quite a bit of news to talk about today, so we'll have a chat and discuss that while we are watching our mower run up and down the field. So I want to make sure there's a bit of an overlap on this. I want to make sure that every part of this field gets mowed so that it effectively ploughs the entire field. So let's get him started. And while he's doing that, we are going to jump into our quad track, if I can find it. There we go. And we are going to chase our mower. And start scooping up that grass. All the grass that we cut in the previous episode has been collected and taken to the BGA. Got quite a nice stash in there already. So, while this is going on, let's talk news. So, big news, obviously, it's Gamescom this week. Loads of interesting gaming news articles are popping out across a whole range of titles. Obviously, for Farming Sim, the big news is the extra information that we now have for Farming Sim Platinum Edition, which will be out on the 14th of November. There's a price that's definitely been confirmed now. It's available to pre-order right now for PC and Mac users. Console users will have to wait until the 14th of November before they can get their copy of it. Although if you have the Season Pass, you should be able to, you will get that for free. You may even get that a little bit earlier, as we have seen in the past with the Big Bud DLC and the Coon DLC going live ever so slightly ahead of schedule. But yeah, we have a price of $19.99 in euros and dollars. No sterling price has been announced yet, but expect that to be somewhere in the region of about £16. As I said, it will be completely free if you have the Season Pass. This will be the final piece of DLC that our Season Pass will cover. Beyond that, we will have to pay for any DLC that we want, once the Platinum Pack has been released. And we know more now about some of the equipment that we're going to be using. So they've provided details of some of the Stara equipment, the Bison equipment, the TT equipment, also the Gessner Industries equipment as well. There are still a couple of pieces of equipment that we do not know about yet that are listed as coming soon. One of those is in the vehicle section, one of those is in the tools section. And there's a couple of Massey pieces in there as well. Obviously there's the Massey tractor. A bonus piece of equipment is the Massey sprayer, which looks really nice. Small capacity, but looks to be a wonderful looking piece of kit. That'll be really nice to actually try out. We've also seen some wonderful screenshots of the new location, and this morning actually, obviously the news of the extra equipment was released yesterday. This morning they released a brand new trailer, the special Gamescom trailer, which actually shows off some really nice locales and scenery. Really gives us a real flavour for the map. We get to see a couple of the bits of equipment in operation as well. So if you haven't checked out that trailer, then please do go and do so. You can visit the Facebook page for Giants and get the link there, or you can look at their YouTube channel and so you can watch it there. If you're a subscriber to my Facebook page, then I have also posted the link on there as well. And I've also done a little 8-minute video just detailing all of the information that we have right now on the Platinum expansion. So be sure to check that out as well. Again, I'll link that in the description of the video below. So, you know, make sure you check that out if you haven't seen it already. In terms of mod news, well, we don't really know what's going on with mods this week. The community manager who normally updates the mod testing thread is actually in Cologne at Gamescom this week, so nobody is updating the thread in his absence. So we may get mods this week. We actually got a couple of mods first thing on Monday morning. We got a log truck variant of the Tatra Terno from Toxicom. We also got a new trailer pack and a log storage mod as well. So we had 3 mods go live on Monday. As I say, we don't know if anything else is going to go live this week. We're kind of hoping, but you never know. It may be that the majority of the testing team is also away at Gamescom. So without having any kind of updates from the community manager, who himself is at Gamescom this week, we just don't really know what's going on. We'll have to wait and see if anything is released. Obviously, again, if anything does come out, I will pop links and descriptions, etc. on my Facebook page for everyone to have a look at. We are hoping that Bullet Bill will be submitting his map to Giants for testing this weekend. He did say that he was aiming to have it submitted this weekend. I think I've just missed my turn off. I have. So, quickly spin around. Yeah, he said that he was hoping that, assuming everything went well with his final little tweaks and edits, etc., that the map should be ready to be submitted to Giants this weekend. So, fingers crossed, that means it'll get through testing relatively quickly, and hopefully, this is just a hopefully, it's not a definite, hopefully we'll see the West Coast map released sometime next week. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But a lot of excitement at the moment, sort of buzzing around the farming community with the further details of the Platinum Edition. It really does look a wonderful environment to play in. I can't wait to try it out, and I'm really looking forward to trying out the new sugarcane crop as well. A lot of people have been a little bit critical of Giants not giving us enough changes with each iteration of Farming Simulator, but I actually think they've actually done quite a lot, with the step up from 15 to 17. Yeah, there is still room for improvement. There's a lot of things that could be done a little bit better, but we've got much nicer textures on our fields than we had in 15. We've got 2 new crops already in soybean and sunflower. We've got a 3rd new crop coming in sugarcane in November, along with all that new equipment. We've had the Big Bud expansion, which has brought the largest equipment that the franchise has ever had as base game / expansion equipment. Obviously, PC players have been able to mod in ridiculously large equipment for years, but in terms of like official content, the Big Bud is easily the largest equipment pack that we've ever had before. So we've had a huge kind of step forward with some of the stuff that we've received so far, and who knows what is yet to come. I mean, there's still a lot more that we can expect over the next 12 months or so. I mean, we're looking at probably October of 2018 before Farming Sim 19 is released. So we've still got well over a year of life left in this game before the next version comes out. And we're seeing some wonderful mods coming up on the mod hub. Obviously, we've got Black Sheep working hard with their mods. They've churned out some amazing stuff. You know, especially recently with the Legend truck, you know, being a great addition to their trailer pack that they produced. Their map is only a few weeks away now, the Valley of the Old Farm, and if it's anything like Old Stream, it's going to be amazing. Obviously, Bullet Bill's West Coast map looks incredible. Cannot wait to get my hands on that and start relaunching Massey Manor. And I'm sure there's going to be other exciting maps in the works from other modders, and other mods in the works from other modders as well. Plus, we also have the commercial DLC from the mod contest winner to wait on as well. At some point, we are going to get, you know, a commercial DLC that a modder has made rather than Giants, and it's going to be interesting to see which one Giants actually pick. We still don't know which one they're going with yet. I haven't seen any kind of announcement from them yet. It'll be interesting to find out exactly when that's going to be, that they do announce that information for us. But plenty of great choices. Again, Bullet Bill, you know, teaming with Oxygen David as Frontier Design. They've submitted a map. Mapper's Paradise has submitted a map proposal. We've had vehicle pack proposals from CJ, Matt, is it Matt XJS and Smetty, and a couple of other modders whose names I forget. Apologies. They have also submitted, you know, some proposals for vehicle packs or equipment packs or combination of. You know, there's been some really nice proposals, and I think the vast majority of people would be happy with any of those DLC packs. So it'll be interesting to see which one of those gets chosen and which one gets implemented, and how much it's going to cost us as well. You know, it is going to be a paid DLC. I mean, Giants were offering, you know, a payment of, I think, 25,000 euros as part of the prize for whichever DLC proposal is selected, and that's the payout for the work. And they're not just going to give out 25 grand and not try and recoup any of that money. So it is going to be a paid DLC. That's kind of a given. It's just a question of how much it's going to cost, and I think that might depend on which DLC proposal is actually selected. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see again for more information to make its way over to us. But there we go, lots and lots of news, lots of stuff to sort of digest there. Some great video footage to watch already, and hopefully we'll actually start seeing some captured gameplay making its way onto YouTube over the next few days. It was the same last year when Farming Sim 17 was being built up, ready to release. A lot of German YouTubers were posting, you know, handy cam footage of Farming Sim 17 in the run-up to its release. I would imagine we will see some Platinum expansion footage making its way onto YouTube over the next few days as well. We'll just have to, again, I've said it quite a few times already, but we'll just have to wait and see. So, with the news out of the way, let's sort of jump ahead a little bit. We'll keep working the rest of this field, keep scooping up this grass and building up our silage. Some of the other games that we've seen announced recently as well are games that I'm quite excited for. Mud Runners, a spin tyres game, has been announced as coming to consoles, and it looks very pretty. You know, the original PC footage that I saw from about a year ago looked great, but also looked a little bit rough, and it looked like a game that I thought could be quite a lot of fun. And now we are actually getting a console version. The trailer for the PS4 was released on Friday last week and looks amazing. Really does. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the footage that they showed was actually PS4 Pro footage rather than standard gameplay footage. So, well, again, you know, we'll probably find out a little bit more as we get closer to the release date. But that's going to be coming out in October, so that's only a couple of months away. Really looking forward to getting my hands on that. We will definitely be featuring spin tyres on the channel when it's released. Another great game that is, well, potentially great game that's been announced is Jurassic World Evolution, which is another sort of city builder style, game. Obviously, we've had a couple on the channel recently. We've had Avon Colony and City Skylines, which is doing really, really well, and proving to be very, very popular with you guys. So thank you for continuing to support, that game in particular. But Avon Colony, not Avon Colony, Jurassic World Evolution, as I say, is looking to be very, very nice. About 13, 14 years ago, there was a Jurassic Park game called Operation Genesis, and that was basically a Jurassic Park themed version of Theme Park, where you would create your own, dinosaur park with rides and attractions and actual living dinosaurs in it. And ever since that game was released, I've always wanted to be able to play an updated modern version of that, with improved features, better graphics, and so on and so forth. And it looks as though that is finally going to happen. It's been announced this weekend. Won't be released until next summer. We don't have details on pricing yet, or a confirmed release sort of month. We just know it's going to be summer next year. And given that that's a year away, it's possible that may even get pushed back. Time will tell on that. But yeah, really, really looking forward to that. I absolutely loved Operation Genesis. I used to have so much fun with that game, doing stupid things at times as well, like building huge herbivore enclosures and then dropping a T-Rex or two in the middle of them and watching them just go hunting the herbivores, or sticking two big meat-eating dinosaurs in the same enclosure and watching them fight to the death, see which one would win. Disabling the fences around the raptor enclosure, seeing how long it would take them to break out, and then go terrorizing through the park, eating up all the tourists. Just silly little things to have a little bit of fun when I was, taking a break from the seriousness of actually running a park properly. But it'd be great to be able to do that kind of stuff again. It's a game I have a lot of fond memories of. So to get an updated, revamped version of that is going to be fantastic. And we'll have to wait a year to get our hands on it, but really looking forward to that. That's definitely going to make an appearance on the channel when it's released as well. Every now and again I get these crazy kind of ideas when I'm, playing Farming Sim. And I've often considered the possibility of having a this weird kind of network of conveyor belts dotted all around the map, so that no matter what field I'm on, I can just tip a conveyor, move a couple of other belts around, and then kind of just transfer whatever it is I'm working with to another point on the map, just by driving to the edge of the field and dumping on a belt. So, in this situation, we would be, transferring grass from one part of the map straight over to here, where it just tips into the BGA. Just strange little things like that. And it makes me, wonder, what are some of the things that you guys have come up with? Let me know in the comments section. I'm really curious as to some of the sort of zany, crazy ideas that you guys have come up with. Have you tried to do something similar to what I've just described? Have you done something just completely, nuts, just off a whim, just to see whether or not it would actually work? Let me know in the comment section. I really would like to hear from you guys on that. We are fast approaching the point where keep driving up and down inside the bunker at the BGA is going to prove really, really problematic. So I think it's time that we got ourselves a leveler. We have a little bit of cash, as you can see. This is what's left over after our milk money was processed at the end of the day. In fact, actually, I think, if I remember rightly, we're in a pretty strong financial position crop-wise. Let's take a look at the prices. We have a great demand for barley, which is of no help to us because we don't have any barley. But we do have a really nice price of 18.67 for soybeans, so I think we should actually sell some soybean. So first things first, we'll park this up inside the store here, ready to get our leveler. And maybe something else. Let's jump to our truck, which should be parked here at the gas station. Yes, it is. Right, can I get out of here without getting caught on a pump? Probably not. Nope. Can I drag myself free? Probably not. Really shouldn't have pulled in here. I can't remember why I did pull in here. I think I was just too lazy to drive back to the yard. But there we go. We've managed to almost wiggled our way free. There we go. We are loose. Where are we? Oh, we're down here. Okay, so we kind of need to turn around. We're heading in the wrong direction. We'll just have to follow this road around because it's pretty narrow, as you can see. We don't really ever come down this way on the map. Me sort of panning around to kind of admire the scenery, nearly driving off the bridge, then into a tree, into a truck, and then nearly off the bridge again. I really should pay a bit more attention to what's going on in front of me. But yeah, we don't normally come down this way. I don't think I've ever been in this sort of grassy area just there. Might have to do something with that area. We'll check that out again at some point in the future. So let's turn here. Get ourselves over to the farm. We're going to load up our two trailers on soybean. I don't know if we'll be dumping them both at the same location. We may take one to the other green price that we have. We'll see how much it drops once we make that first tip. And it's going to be easier if we go in this way, I think. Yeah, as much as I don't generally tend to enjoy driving the barrel core, I do love the engine noise it makes. So let's load up on soybean. Alright, there's the first trailer. Let's get the second one loaded up. If we can get it positioned. This is going to be awkward. Why isn't that filling? Oh, am I going to have to drive around the block? Oh, no, there we go. So, we'll fill the second one. Where is it we're heading to? Old grain store, and then potentially to Outback grain. So the old grain store is up to the top, up in the north there. We've been to that one quite a lot recently, so we'll be heading back there again. Going to make quite a nice amount of money here off this particular sale. You know, 120,000 litres. No, 124,000 litres. That's quite a nice tidy amount. And with each of those selling between sort of 1,600 and 1,800 and something, that's a lot of money. We're going to make a very, very nice tidy little sum. Hopefully enough to be able to either do some serious land expansion or maybe even buy something like the Holma-Terra variant. But, I'm going to scooch ahead to the old grain store and we'll start tipping. So as we approach the entrance, we're going to swing wide and then cut back in. Should get through the fence nice and comfortably. Yep, there we go. So here goes trailer number 1. Get ourselves positioned nicely like that. Oh, look at the money go up. I always love to see that, just to see the money just climb and climb and climb like that. It's such a satisfying feeling, especially when you've been struggling financially as well, to be able to just see a nice big sudden cash injection like this. Always nice. And there we go, that's the end of the first trailer. How much are we going to get? Ooh! There we go, that's the end of the first trailer. 130,000. That is awesome. Well, 130,745. Oh, that's nice. So how much does that hit us? Quite a lot, but this is still better than anywhere else. So what we'll do is that price should rebound a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed time up because we have the other field that needs to be done as well. We'll leave this parked here and hopefully that price will rebound, and then we can sell the other trailer a little bit later as the price improves back up again. I don't think it'll get quite as high as it was, but it should definitely improve on what it is right now. So let's get back to collecting some grass. Our mower has been running up and down the field diligently while we've been doing other things. So it's time to kind of get back on track and try and catch up with him. This is now starting to get a little bit too unmanageable to drive up and down, so you can see we've brought the level up. We're going to start pushing all this back to the far end of the pit. I'm going to build a big sort of area at the back, and you can just reverse into the pit to unload. So time to level all of this out, get it nice and flat. See, we're also filling in those gaps on the side where it's just kind of naturally kind of pulled up a little bit in the center. See there, a nice little sort of trench on that side there. We're going to be sort of dealing with all of this, just pushing it all the way back. In fact, what we might do, rather than moving the entire lot, is if it stays nice and flat like this, I may just continue to keep driving up it for a little while longer. We're certainly making the ramp up into the bunker a lot smoother. It's a little bit bumpy about halfway down, but this entry area, as you can see, is now a lot smoother than it was. So we may just continue to, drive in as we have been doing. Let's try and push a little bit more over to the side wall. Lift this up a little bit because it's a little bit low. One of the downsides I've found to doing silage nowadays is because it pays so little in comparison to what it used to pay. The amount of work that you have to put in when you're playing solo, is pretty vast. You end up doing so much work and you don't get anywhere near the kind of reward that you probably, deserve for the sheer amount of effort and time that you spend doing something. I mean, the amount of grass that we're going to need to collect to fill this bunker is, you know, a huge amount, you know, a vast total. And I think we are going to end up just pushing it all the way back. But say the amount of work that we have to do in terms of all the grass that we have to cut and collect and dump and then compact and push, you know, before we then fertilize it, and then all the shoveling that we have to do to sell it, it just isn't, you know, it isn't the sort of the most profitable option out there now. If you've got a big enough field, you can just plant something like soybean and make an absolute fortune when it comes to selling that, as opposed to you know, working a silage pit for, you know, an eternity and getting you know, a very similar reward. You know, it's much quicker and easier these days just to do a high value harvest like a soybean, or even a sunflower harvest can be really profitable as well. Be curious to see, while we're talking about crop prices, be curious to see what the new sugarcane prices are going to be like. Are they going to be a high value crop, or are they going to be, you know, kind of a high yield, low value crop like beets and potatoes? That's kind of what I'm expecting, is something that's not going to be worth a lot as a, you know, as a per 1,000 litre price, but you'll get an awful lot when it comes to doing the harvest. That's kind of what I'm expecting, but we will have to wait until we get some better footage of the game. Maybe even get some more screenshots. Get, you know, maybe a bit of price breakdown on sugar beets. Not sugar beets, sorry, sugar cane. So I'm going to carry on sort of condensing up everything in here, and we'll pop back once we've made a little bit more progress on the bunker. We've been making really good progress with the grass, as you can see. It's all been condensed, all been squashed up. We've been steadily filling away on the last little bit of the field that we're working on. We've still got one more field to cut and mow after this, so there will still be a little bit more to go into this bunker. But I think we've only got one and a little bit loads left on the field to collect now from field 119. And on top of that, the price has now rebounded for soybean. So if we have a look, you can see it's back up to 1867 again. We still have that second trailer, so let's tip that now. Make another large sort of chunk of cash. See how much we end up with. It's simply due to the nature of the job that we've been doing today and how long it's been taking to do. I've kind of taken the executive decision to release this video on Thursday instead, so that we actually have time to actually focus on it, getting it done properly rather than rushing it. Oh, there we go. Final total of an extra $101,344. So we're up to $245. Now, I was hoping to be able to buy one of these, and we're just short. We don't quite have enough. That's a shame, but we do have all that silage that we're working on, so the opportunity is still there in the future. So we'll be able to make quite a bit of money. We'll make a little bit more money at midnight as well when the clocks, tick over and all of our daily expenses are processed. The money we make from our milk should give us about 20 grand in profit out of our, to cover our expenditures. So that'll put us over the top at the very least. You see, we've still got this field here to cut. We need it to grow one more stage, then we can get it fertilised the final time, then we can mow it and collect everything up. But it's just those 2 rows of grass that's left there now, so I'm going to go ahead and grab those. And then we'll kind of speed time up a little bit. Okay, so that field is now done. As you can see, field 20 is now ready to go. It is fully fertilised. I thought there was still one stage that needed to be applied, but it turns out it's already at stage 3. So that saves us another job. So all we need to do now, basically, is unleash the Massey mower and then chase it here with our quad track to pick up the cuttings. So just turn around. There we go. Let's get into the Massey. Get our header hooked up. There we go. And as you can see, field 20 in need of a plough. Field 119 no longer needs that, thanks to having done that mowing job, and it will be exactly the same with this. You'll see as the field work progresses, the need to plough will be removed. So again, making sure that we're getting the entire width of the field there, just slightly overlapping that header over the edge. And there we go. So let's jump into our quad track. There it is. This 6,000 litres or so, that's what's left over from the previous field. Now all we have to do is just work on this one, and then when that's done, our silage work will be complete. We'll squash down everything that we have, we'll cover it, get it fermenting, and then in the next episode we'll start reploughing these, well, not reploughing, but cultivating and reseeding these fields for our next harvest. Still yet to decide what crops we're going to go with, but it'll be an interesting choice. And of course, the great thing about mowing these fields as well is that not only have we removed that need to plough, we've also given them stage 1 fertilisation for free as well, which on a field the size of 119 is a huge bonus, because that's an expensive field to fertilise. It's big, it takes a lot of pellets, a lot of spray, or a lot of time if you're using a weeder, to actually add that extra stage in. So we've saved a huge chunk of time and money to get that field already at stage 1, which is awesome. So we are on our final little bit of grass here on the field. We've done an awful lot of mowing and an awful lot of gathering. Field 119 is a huge field. That took several hours to cut and collect, and then sort out the mess that we were making in the silage bunker as well. And now we've done field 20 as well. This, as I say, this final little strip, we're going to end up with just under a full container at at the end. And then it'll be time to squash everything down one last time and start compacting our silage ready for fermentation. So let's head over to the BGA now, and while we're heading over there, just to let you guys know, we do have some handycam footage out there now from Farming Sim 17 Platinum Edition. I've been keeping a close eye on YouTube, doing some regular searches over the last day or so, looking for gameplay footage, as last year at Gamescom we got a lot of gameplay footage of 17 before it was released. This time round we've got footage of Platinum before the expansion drops in November. So if you want to check that out, there is a link on my Facebook page. I'll drop that link in the description as well of the video, so you can check that out below. You'll get to see the new sugarcane crop in action. It looks kind of cool. You get to see the Case combine in action a lot, the sugarcane harvester. You also see the Massey tractor driving around, and I think there's a Case Puma that is also sort of working on there as well. You'll see the sugarcane trailers being towed. They can be linked together, so you actually see them being pulled in tandem for a little while. You'll also see footage of the train and a sort of a drive around, a random drive around on the map, so you'll get to see some of the visuals from the map itself around the farm and just in general, and a tour up with the train, as I say, as well. So that's what's on that footage. It's about 12 minutes long, that little video. It has got one of those sort of Euro techno tracks that backs it. It's not my video, it's somebody else's, but you know, as I say, if you want to see what the game is going to look like once the expansion drops, that is a good opportunity for you to actually see some Gamescom footage in action. Okay, so we've got all of our silage pretty much kind of squashed in as far as it's going to go there. Let's just take a closer look. So you can see it's all kind of pushed in. There's not a lot I can do about this sort of lumpy bit here, but that's fine. Let's open up the help menu so we can see just how much we've got in here. 1.529 million litres. So quite an awful lot. And you'll notice that my little field viper is parked up on top of the clamp here. Now our compaction level is 69%, and what I like to do when I've got one of these available to me is set cruise control to around about 10 miles an hour, like that. Let's get the engine on, turn on. And then, because this is quite a small tractor and it's got narrow tracks, you know, a narrow wheelbase, we can literally just spin on the spot like this to do our compacting. So I'm going to carry on spinning on the spot for however long it takes to get this compacted. I won't make you watch it all because you'll probably end up feeling somewhat seasick or nauseous from the constant spinning. But yeah, I'll get this all done, and then we'll come back once this is ready to blanket. So we're still here, still spinning away. You can see our compaction levels 98% now, about to go to 99. There we go, that's 99%. As soon as it gets to 100, we'll jump out. We'll stop spinning. I've actually just changed the camera angle a little bit, see if that helps. Not so much yet. But yeah, the reason I do it like this is just it's easy. I can just hold my thumb down, you know, in one direction, and I can just forget about it and just keep glancing up to see the compaction level. It's a nice straightforward thing. You don't have to constantly drive up and down and up and down. You just, you know, turn on your cruise control and there you go, and that's it. We're at 100%. So let's jump out. Let's blanket the silo. And the reason I put this up here before I blanket a site, before I start spinning as well, you know, before I condense everything, is because when you drive up and down those ramps, you can actually dislodge a load of silage and loosen it and just make it a little bit messy again. So I like to make sure that the field viper is on top of the bunker before I'm ready to start spinning, and then squash everything up, and then hopefully, you know, I don't get anything dislodged and break the flow of the walls on the sides. So there we go, the silage is compacted. That's pretty much it for the end of this episode. I think, you know, we've done an awful lot of grass work. We've got our 1.5, 1.6 million litres here that's going to be fermenting. We'll be able to sell that in the next episode. And we're looking decent on money. I'm going to pay that off, actually. Where is our loan? Let's pay off a huge chunk of the loan with this money so that we don't incur quite so much expense when midnight rolls around. Then we can always withdraw that money again, you know, the next day. And it's going to massively reduce our loan debt by well over 1,000. So yeah, next episode we'll look at maybe selling some of this off. We've definitely got field work to do. We've got you know, those 2 grass fields that need to be cultivated and seeded. Our other 2 fields, fields 6 and field 45, also need to be cultivated and seeded as well. And then we can obviously look at probably tidying up and getting on with some more silage work. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on the farm very soon.